I saw this popped up on the side of the timeline, and I wanted to see this. The end of a TikTok's worst content house, the Goth house. Ah, yes, content houses. I think those are still a thing. Like, they have, like, content houses still, but, like, it's very, like, super minute, you know? What is this all about? I don't know what this is. I'm super curious what this is.
For the past few weeks, a group calling itself the Goth House has been spreading across TikTok, YouTube, and pretty much every corner of the alternative internet. And when we say everywhere, we mean everywhere. Even on the streets of Seattle, dragging men by a leash on the streets, pouring drinks on their faces, and spanking them in public. At first glance, it just looks like another content house. Except instead of influencers doing dance trends, it's a group of self-proclaimed goth girls making over-the-top videos that many people say feel more like a parody than an actual representation of the goth subculture. And that has sparked a massive backlash. People within the goth community have accused them of turning an entire subculture into a fetish, reducing decades of music, fashion, and identity into clickbait designed to funnel viewers toward their
Well, at the end of the day, they're OF. They're OF people. Goth communities don't like these fraud goth creators. Yeah, no, these are tourists at the end of they're not actual goth people. I know what actual goth people are because I've had friends like them specifically.
fans' pages. Others have
They're
gone
not
even
actual
further,
goth.
calling them fake goths who are exploiting alternative culture purely for attention and profit. And the videos they put up, let's just say they are very cringe.
Hey, you're really cute. Can I get your number?
Oh my god, you're filming me?
What?
Are you
No.
Are you gonna prank me? Are you gonna pull down my pants and like
No.
spank my bare butt in front of everybody?
What?
You're gonna spank my bare naked butt in front of everybody, and I'm gonna go, oh no, like I'm so embarrassed, and
No.
then I keep my pants.
What is wrong with you?
I was joking.
No.
Can I get your number?
No.
We mean, yes, they're pretty much ruining everything for us, from food delivery and McDonald's to even Santa Claus.
Wants a goth girl for Christmas.
If all this sounds a little familiar, that's because many people are comparing Goth House to the infamous Bop House. And if you know anything
the
about the
Bop
Bop
House.
House,
I know
you
what that
will know where
is.
this is going. So who exactly is Goth House? Why is the internet so angry? And is the criticism actually justified? Let's get into it. Now, before we get into the controversy, and trust us, there is a lot of controversy.
Oh god, fucking Pikachu is in this? Oh lordy lord. Well, that says a lot, to be frankly honest.
First need to understand what exactly
That
Goth
makes a lot
House
of sense.
is. Despite being a relatively new project, they've already built a sizable audience, with over 288,000 followers on Instagram. Their videos regularly rack up hundreds of thousands, sometimes even millions of views. The current members include Pinkchu, whose real name is Lynn Lamarbella, and Queen Nephilim. These are the three names that are currently tagged on their official page. However, there was one more from what we were able to find out, a girl called Buttercup. However, she's currently not tagged in any of the posts. We don't know why. On the surface, it just looks like another influencer collective wearing black clothes, heavy makeup, fishnets, and platform boots. But according to a large portion of the goth community, that's exactly the problem. Because critics argue Goth House isn't celebrating goth culture, it's commercializing it. And that's where this controversy really begins. Now, if you scroll through their TikTok or YouTube shorts, you'll notice a pattern almost immediately. It's less about gothic music, fashion history, DIY, concerts, or the actual subculture, and much more about making suggestive skits, thirst traps, and content that's clearly designed to drive people toward their, well, premium pages. Many viewers have pointed out that the content feels less like a celebration of goth.
No, it's more they're sex. Sex sells, you know? That's what it is. It's just sex. That's all they're doing basically. So I can tell immediately they're not actual goth people because I've had friends who were actual goth. So
Culture and more like marketing wrapped in fishnets and black lipstick. And here's the weird part. After watching enough of their videos, they all start blending. The same makeup, the same camera angles, the same facial expressions, the same dummy goth girl persona, the same jokes. It's like someone copied one character 4 times and just changed the username. Then you get to the actual videos. Take this I Need Goth More Girls video, for example. The entire premise revolves around the internet stereotype that every guy desperately wants a goth girlfriend, except it's stretched into a painfully unfunny roleplay where the joke is basically repeated.
the problem is when they get a goth girlfriend, they're not ready for the baggage on top of it. Like, people want a goth girlfriend, but they don't want the emotional thing on top of it. So, well, there are some that do for some random parent fucking reason, but like like they like for me specifically, I like the aestheticness. I just don't like the baggage. That's about it. So
over and over again.
Doc, we're losing him. We're losing him. We've tried
I think that's how
everything.
everyone is, or so. They like the aestheticness.
I need more goth girls!
And there are more like these, except worse.
Did you get your sample from the bathroom?
I gave it to her.
You are severely dehydrated. I think you're.
Then there's the McDonald's worker
That's
video,
fucking
which somehow manages
nasty.
to turn a normal fast food shift into a bizarre thirst trap.
What the hell? You're drinking my drink.
And I pissed in it too. You do not want to know where this has been.
And trust us when we say this is exactly the type of content you will find on their page.
What the fuck? This is the type of content that some of you people actually watch? That's fucking pathetic, I'm not gonna lie, to be honest. Wow. This is really sad, to be honest.
General disgusting piss fetish. We're saying that their donut glaze is made in-house.
Yeah, can I get some cream in this?
Yeah, sure thing.
Thank you. Hi. What kind of donut is that?
Plain. But the glaze is homemade.
Oh. Wait, do you make it in-house?
You eat a lot of zinc?
No.
We could make it in-house.
Is my cream almost done?
It takes a while. It's a fan favorite.
Oh, what? Why?
Special taste.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go.
Come back.
Probably not. Thank you.
I mean, you get the point. By the way, the secondhand embarrassment we're getting right now is insane. These girls can even turn something as normal as a donut into something super sexual.
How do you like your donuts? I like them glazed. I like the balls. I like them cream filled. I like them long. Oh.
Yeah, we don't even know how to explain that one.
Damn. That's crazy.
It's one of those clips where you just pause the video halfway through and ask yourself, who came up with this? There's also this so-called advice for surviving long shifts. We don't even know how to explain it. Just watch this.
Can you share some words of encouragement that will get me through my shift? Shift, shaft, they're all long, and we all gotta take the full thing. But don't worry, buddy, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Being a wage cuck, you do whatever you want. I believe that you will live your life the way you need. And if anything goes wrong, suck a little dick. And make them pay for your time, not the actual dick sucking. Just kidding.
And that's the kind of recurring theme across almost every channel. The content isn't really diverse. It follows the same formula over and over again. Step 1, wear an exaggerated goth outfit. Step 2, make prolonged eye contact with the camera. Step 3, say something that's supposed to be flirty, dominant, or unhinged. Step 4, remind people you exist on other platforms. Repeat. And oh yes, bonus step, it's better if you're jumping up and down the entire time. The forced recoil really helps. Now, plenty of creators make adult content. The criticism starts when that style of content is presented as goth culture itself. That's why so many people within the goth community have pushed back. They argue that goth house reduces an entire subculture, one with decades of history rooted in music, fashion, and self-expression, into a collection of internet stereotypes designed to maximize engagement. Whether you agree with that criticism or not, it's easy to see why the content has become so polarizing. For some viewers, it's harmless entertainment. For others, it feels like an algorithm-optimized caricature of goth culture, where the aesthetic becomes a marketing tool instead of an expression of the subculture itself. Now, before this turns into people are just mad because these women have OnlyFans, let's make one thing very clear. Has existed for thousands of years. It's often called one of the world's oldest professions, and whether you agree with that description or not, the reality is that consensual adult work has been part of human society for centuries.
Yeah, of course.
Like any profession, the people behind it deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. This video isn't about reducing anybody's dignity. What is worth talking about, however, is the direction internet culture has taken over the past few years, because it feels like almost everything is being turned into a fetish. Eating food, going to the gym, working at McDonald's.
Going to the gym is also what? What? 17 best gym girl OnlyFan creators?
Gym, working at McDonald's, shopping, even something
Jesus.
as random as a donut. The internet is
God lord, dude, they are trying to desensitize a lot of people, to be frankly honest. I'm like, there's a point in Checkpoint or so, it's just like, maybe a little too much is just too much in general, you know? I'm just saying, dude.
reached a point where the most ordinary activities imaginable are constantly being reframed as suggestive content because that's what the algorithm
There is a thing called
rewards.
too much
A
at the end of
perfect
the
example
day.
of this is another viral creator who claimed that someone had, let's just say, left a very questionable special ingredient inside her burger. Whether the story was true or just outrage bait almost doesn't matter. Millions of people clicked on it because it was shocking, disgusting, and
Yeah.
impossible to ignore.
Like, I like the cute aesthetic, like, outfit or so for some of them, you know?
Not to be dramatic, but I'm pretty sure someone has shot a load into my burger. What is that?
How the fuck are you gonna stick your finger in that?
What is
Why are
going
you
on
still pulling
recently?
it?
I'm finding fish on my doorstep. Baby batter in my burgers. Please. I don't deserve this.
Maybe you should stop eating at
Well,
McDonald's,
that's
baby?
the kind of online
just saying.
environment we're living in today. The more outrageous something is, the
This
more
is what
attention
happens when being down bad becomes normalized. That's why I don't want every female game character to be super hot. I'm like, it makes sense or so. Like, there are some women or so, but the problem is like, unfortunately, we're living in a day and age or so, well, where too much of doing that or so is a bad thing, you know? And the problem is, it's just that, like, unfortunately, the way how the world is, where women have the most power pushing men downwards, this is what causes that problem. If there was, like, equal balance or so, we wouldn't be having this problem, you know? But unfortunately, you know, women hold the power the most. So they're weaponizing it against humans. Well, males, anyways, I should say. And that's why you see so many of these, like, OF girls, like, you know, taking advantage of these poor, lonely guys because they can't get any women, even though they don't work on themselves anyway. So I'm just saying, you know. I'm like, criticism for each side at the end of the day. I'm like, guys, some guys need to work on themselves if you're trying to get yourself a woman or to work on yourself. But at the end of the day, my thing is that you should only work on yourself to make yourself happy, not for any other reason whatsoever. So you shouldn't be doing it for somebody else because they told you to. You should be working on yourself because you want to do it, because you want to change, you know? But unfortunately, that's just not how the world works at the end of the day, unfortunately. So there's just a lot of ill people, you know. That's the only problem. So there's too many reasons. There's too many amalgamations or so to begin with.
it gets. And while Goth House certainly leans into that style of content, that's actually not the main issue people have with them. The biggest criticism, as we said earlier, isn't that they're making adult content. It's that they're presenting it as goth culture. Literally, every single one of their posts has
Oh, so they think that's goth culture? That's wild to hear that, to be honest. That is such a stereotypical thing, to be honest.
goth hashtags. Now, we're not here pretending to be experts on goth culture. Anyone who's spent 5 minutes online knows that goths are incredibly passionate about protecting the identity of their community, and understandably so. So instead of relying on stereotypes, we looked into where goth culture actually came from. The goth subculture traces its roots back to the late 1970s and early 1980s, emerging from the post-punk music scene in the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Bands like Bauhaus, Susie and the Banshees, The Cure, and Sisters of Mercy helped define both the sound and the aesthetic that would become goth. While black clothing, dramatic makeup, lace, leather, and Victorian-inspired fashion became recognizable symbols of the culture, and there are many types of these subcultures as well. Victorian goth, traditional goth, romantic goth, and many others. At its core, goth has always been a music-based
The trend goth, the romantic goth, the cyber goth, the... what is that, the fetish goth? Or something like that? The happy goth, the J goth. Yeah, I know the J goth one. The, what is that, Riverhead? The perky goth. Yeah, I know about the perky goth. Mepe goth? I don't know. I think I might be reading it wrong. the death rocker, the baby Ben. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to read. Corp goth, Victorian goth, medieval goth. Yep, I know. I know these two. Metalhead, emo. Yep, I know these two. Vampire goth. Yep. Greek goth. What is that? Gotha bully? Gotha bully? I'm not too sure. But that's the I know which era that is. Was that something? Cabaret goth? And then the steampunk, yeah. I know a good chunk of these, to be honest.
Subculture. Fashion, art, literature, photography, and self-expression all grew around that musical foundation. Over the decades, the community evolved into something much bigger than just a genre of music. Today, goth is much more than that. It's about history, culture, sexuality, identity, literacy, politics, and much more. Today, you'll find goth creators sharing makeup tutorials, DIY fashion, concert vlogs, history lessons, album recommendations, thrift hauls, and discussions about the many branches of alternative culture. Creators like It's Black Friday, of Herbs and Altars, and countless smaller creators have spent years making content that educates people about goth fashion, music, and history, without reducing the subculture to a stereotype, which is why many members of the community feel frustrated by Goth House. From their perspective,
Rightfully
millions
so.
of people who know nothing about goth culture might discover it for the first time through these videos and
It's just they're tourists. They're just using the whole goth aesthetic because there's a lot of guys who say I want a goth mommy or so, and that's kind of like basically it.
away thinking goth is nothing more than fishnets, heavy eyeliner, and fetish content. And for a community that's spent over 40 years building an identity around music, creativity, and self-expression, it's easy to understand why that would feel like a misrepresentation. One complaint that comes up over and over again is that
I have to say is those guys who really do fetishize this, like some guys need to hold some men accountable and put them in their place because they need to learn restraint at the end of the day, in my personal opinion. Like they need to be shamed as well, because they're the ones that are feeding these women at the end of the day. So
don't seem particularly knowledgeable about goth culture itself. Whenever people ask them what goth actually means, instead of talking about the music, the history, or the artists that shaped this scene, the answers tend to be incredibly vague. Things like F the system and LARPing about politics.
Why don't you guys tell me, what the hell are you?
We're goth!
We're goth!
Yay!
Yay!
We love Bauhaus and Sisters of Mercy.
And the politics and the system. Yeah! System!
The system!
Yeah, it, dude.
Yeah, we hate the system.
Unapologetically yourself.
Yeah.
Get out of the cookie cutter. Become yourself.
Exactly.
All right, so
I mean, this is incredibly shallow. Then there's The Voice. If you've watched enough of their videos, you've probably noticed that one member, Neffy, regularly puts on an exaggerated baby voice.
oh, you're talking about the high-pitched voice that's actually not a real voice to begin with? Wow, shocker, isn't it? Just letting you know, when you get older as a woman, your voice becomes lower, okay? I'm just letting you know that.
A little scary.
I'm Nessie, and my green flag is that I have a shallow vagina. So you'll always be big enough.
Okay.
Yay.
The voice is tripping me out, man.
And my red flag is that I like running trains. Model trains.
Nice, okay.
Yeah, this is the EMD SD40T-2. It's a mountain train.
Okay.
And there's a little guy inside, look.
I can see him, yeah.
I wish your little guy was inside me.
And judging by the
Oh man, dude. Oh man, that really hurts to hear. I'm not going to lie. That is just, ugh. Ugh. Oh my god, dude. That hurts. That actually gave me actual physical pain, dude. I feel pain off of that.
Comments, people absolutely hate it. Some viewers think it's satire, others think it's rage bait, others think it's designed to fit a specific online fetish.
It's an
Another
online
major
fetish.
criticism is that their content has consequences beyond just their own audience. Many women who have been part of the goth community for years say they've noticed a growing trend where strangers assume every goth woman must fit the same hyper-sexualized stereotype that's constantly pushed online.
That's pretty bad in general because of these women or so. They're pushing other specific goth people who are not in this specific agenda in general, right? That fit this. They think they're all the same. It's pretty fucking shitty in my personal opinion.
If being seen as someone who enjoys goth music or alternative fashion, they're immediately met with comments about big titty goth girlfriends, OnlyFans jokes, or people expecting them to act like the characters they see in viral TikToks.
That's the people who are always chronically online, to be frankly honest. A lot of goths that are BIPOC and trans do the SW, pushing the idea that it's their fault for men's harassment makes it more dangerous for them. I don't know what BIPOC is. I don't know what that is. I don't even know what any of these words are. I see. I thought it was gonna be like bipolar or something like that.
Of course, internet stereotypes about goth girls existed long before Goth House, but content like this reinforces those stereotypes by constantly presenting goth women through a sexualized lens. And when you compare their content to creators who have spent years documenting concerts, reviewing albums, explaining goth fashion, discussing subgenres, or teaching the history of the scene, the difference is pretty obvious. One side is introducing people to the culture, the other is introducing people to a fantasy.
This is just sad. This is really sad and pathetic, to be honest. I feel like some guys need to hold some guys accountable at the end of the day. Like, you guys need to hold these guys accountable, you know? Because they feed onto this. And this is why I just said that women hold the power, so because these guys like to bend the will. But you gotta teach these guys to not do that, to be honest.
Built around the culture. That
you gotta put them
distinction
to
is at
shame
the
too. You
heart
gotta
of
bully
almost
them or
every
something. Like put them to
criticism
shame
directed
overall,
toward Goth
to be
House.
honest.
And now there's one video in particular that we want to talk about, titled Goth Girls Speed Dates 7 Nice Guys. This was uploaded by a channel called David Alvarezi. And if you doom scroll a lot, we are sure you might have seen one of their speed dating videos that are equally cringeworthy but surprisingly entertaining for a lot of viewers. And the reason is the shock factor. The group's appearance on this viral dating show only poured gasoline on the fire. The premise was simple. One of the Goth House members was looking for a boyfriend.
Can this hot goth mommy find herself the perfect good boy? With the help of her goth sisters, they'll grill these guys based off looks, beliefs, and kinks.
But are you a good boy?
We'll see if she finds love on Love Bites. Welcome to the group chat! Today we have Pink looking for the love of her life. Alright, Pink, tell me, why are you single?
Well, I got out of a pretty bad relationship.
Boo! Boo!
In reality, the episode quickly turned into internet chaos. At
I wonder why.
one point, they started talking about hentai.
What do you mean he was only attracted to anime women? Was he like addicted to
Hi.
So he was addicted to hentai? So he was addicted so much he didn't want to have a real thing?
Something along those lines.
And of course, there is their interpretation of what goth is, which is incredibly infuriating to some people, and the mandatory jumping up and down.
Hey guys, I'm so out of my...
So yeah, the whole thing is just weird and disgusting. The contestants weren't exactly presenting themselves with dignity either. This guy, Jax, literally started barking.
But are you a good boy? A really good boy?
Whatever you need.
All right, show me how good of a boy you are.
Everything I own.
But not.
Ah, God, dude. God, dude. God. Why do I say it's guys though? I personally think because like remember, right? Guys like to think with their dicks at the end of the day. So I'm just saying, you know, yeah, you can say that girls like to do like to have this emotional thing and we're not logical people, right? But we also have a thing against guys as well, where guys think with their dicks all the time. And this proves it most of the time, so. Are there guys who think logically? Yeah. Are there women who think logically? Yes. Are there girls who think illogically? Yes. Are there guys who think illogically? Yes.
Not on all fours, good boy.
Bragging
That
about
is
how
pretty
good you are.
And I can shake it.
pretty good.
I can shake it. You should see me.
And it just included a lot of suggestive, explicit remarks. The pink statement, for example.
The guy, I can also try to give you the same experience if you know what I mean.
Promise?
Yeah, I promise.
Thank you, David. This is a blast.
How would you pick me up if we were in a bar?
Hi, I'm Dax.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Pink.
Is it?
It's really pink.
Well, you're forward, and I dig it.
Honestly speaking, we have zero idea why "it's pink" is a thing. It's derogatory, period. But there were other absurd things on this show as well. For instance, this song.
All right, let's hear it.
If a girl ever like tries to pull me that way, like you saw this specific clip right here. Like, ugh, dude, I don't know, dude. I'd be fighting, to be frankly honest. I don't want anyone pulling me that. I don't care if it's a guy or a girl or so, right? If they try to do this shit towards me, I'm fucking throwing hands.
You're beautiful, and all I ask is that you might hold me tight and shove a finger in my ass.
There it is.
Piss on my face. Then FaceTime my dad! Hold me close. Then call me a little fat girl! Lick on my Then zip tie my balls and call me racial slurs! You're beautiful. Pink. You know what they say.
And we mean, just look at them go about how this contestant seemed fake.
Here.
He gives a more energy of like doming
But
than
he-
like a subby. Yeah.
But all the stuff that he was saying was kind of subby.
Yeah, but I feel like he was trying to be a sub.
Like, you want to feel the like genuine.
Yeah, we don't posers.
All right, well, moving on.
Yeah, a bit rich coming from them. There was another contestant who tried.
Oof, what a toxic combination. Latina and German race. Oh god, dude. Ugh, I thought Latinas were pretty freaking like they are, you know, Latinas are pretty like we can get pretty unhinged or so, but mixing that with German blood and I don't know, man, dude. Oh my god, dude. German and Latina combination sounds like such a toxic ass behavior, to be honest.
Way too hard to act mysterious and edgy.
My name is Danny. I'm $3,000 into debt. I'm deeply afraid of women. And honestly, last time I've been with a woman was 2 years ago.
Well, I haven't had sex in almost 3 years.
Oh,
I know. I'm saving it for the right guy.
I think I could be the right guy.
Why are you in debt?
Just spending it on stupid dude. Drugs, alcohol.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love a loser I can take care of.
Others leaned completely into the "I need a goth girlfriend" meme. That's been
Latinos love Goth House. All right, Mexican delegation, you guys got a lot to say about this right now. You guys got a lot to say about this right now. What do you have to say about this, huh? The Mexican delegation, I need you to speak up right now. I need you guys to speak up right now. What is your defense here on this shit? How are you guys going to defend yourself from this shit? I'm gonna call your asses out right now, right here. Where the fuck are you guys at? You guys are gonna need to defend yourself for the Mexican delegation. This is pretty fucking pathetic, I'm not gonna lie, to be honest. This is sad. This is actually really sad.
Relating online for years. Overall, instead of feeling like a genuine dating show, the whole thing came across as a competition.
Not
to
gonna lie,
see-
as a Mexican, I find so funny how out of nowhere a lot of people came as came as Latina, Mexican, or something, and then they get asked if they were born here, and they answer, "Oh no, my grandma is," and I'm like, "What the fuck?" That's funny.
Who could create the most viral clips? And the whole group leans too much toward the goth dom mommy thing. I mean, just look at this.
Also, this is also one of the things too in general why like I did it when I was younger, right? I did the whole dommy mommy thing when I was younger because I had just more energy, and I just find for me specifically, I never found it for pleasure or anything like that. I just kind of find it funny for the reactions of people. That's about it. When usually it's mostly guys, right? Mostly guys try to push and initiate with it. I'm just kind of like, no, dude, I'm just playing around, bro. But there are some guys who are a little bit more weaker, and they give out a good reaction. Same thing for the women. The women is the most that gives the best reactions because I find it really funny personally. But like I stopped doing it because one, I got older. I don't have the energy to do it anymore. And it's just kind of like whatever at this point, you know? I just don't personally care after a while or so, you know? Like I'll do it from time to time, but the older I get, the less I start doing it. I'm just kind of like, ugh, I'm just a lazy person at this point.
Mommy.
Please, mommy.
Oh, you don't sound like you want it.
Please, mommy.
Oh, good boy.
Also, she's pretty lame at doing her gothy mommy thing or so. You're supposed to be like, you're supposed to do it like, "Oh, are you a good boy? Wow. Now show me what you got." She didn't even fucking put any effort to it. God fucking A, dude. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if you're gonna fucking do a dommy mommy shit, fucking put the effort into it, for God's sakes, you know? God fucking lord, dude.
Yeah, we will never recover from this. Also, when they show the girls were drinking white monster drinks, which is like a stereotype.
Okay, I gotta ask, why do you guys like White Monster so much?
It feels really good inside.
Yeah.
Monster is nasty.
Especially when it first goes down your throat.
Jesús, madre de Dios, ¿por qué chingado le pega?
Dude, write that down. You should pitch that for next meeting.
Porque ahí están gentes que le gustan que le pegan con eso. A sí le gustan así.
I got you.
So you like anime?
I love anime.
And she also spat in this guy's mouth.
Never sold my soul, but I would for...
Goth girl spit. In my mouth.
Okay.
100%.
Prove it?
Yes. Please. I'll prove it.
Take his soul right now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Okay. On your knees. Open eye.
Oh God, Dax.
Head back. You ready?
Uh-huh. Oh my God.
Oh, that's fucking vile, dude. That's fucking nasty, dude. You actually can't be shitting me with that. That's just fucking foul, dude. That's just not even funny anymore. That's just fucking nasty.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we don't really have anything to say after this, but people definitely do. To give you an idea, here are some of the top comments on this video. The forced jiggle is actually killing me. I've never felt this much secondhand embarrassment. This is the reason the suicide rate is so high. It's at times like these I wish the number of dislikes were still visible. Low-key reduced my lifespan by 10 years. As a goth girl, this is the worst thing that has even occurred to me. This just set us back 5,000 years. There is no limit to the LARP. Watching a gory shock video is more comforting than watching this. And yes, we totally agree. However, another criticism that comes up constantly is the way Goth House seems to treat goth and emo as if they're exactly the same thing. If you've spent any time in alternative communities, you know that's basically the equivalent of calling every genre of rock heavy metal. And many people have talked about this online.
Who are you?
Beverly Strange, the best goth in London.
True or false, goths hang in cemeteries for fun?
Oh yeah, I mean, the dead are a lot less annoying than the living, so.
True or false?
She's not. I like her outfit though.
Goth and emos are the same thing.
What's an emo?
Jesus Christ. Imagine saying that. Imagine saying goth and emos are the same people. That's fucking wild to hear that.
True or false, goths only wear black?
False. Clearly I have a lot of color on. I have
she got purple.
white, There's a bit of purple. And if you look under every goth's boots, there are rainbow socks.
True or false, most goths are sad or depressed.
Oh yeah, that's rule one of being a goth. Right after you have to like The Nightmare Before Christmas and worship Satan.
True or false, goth is only a phase for teenagers.
Well, I'm 82 and I'm still doing it, so.
You don't look it.
Yeah, a lot of work done, a lot of work. Now I'm gonna disappear.
Sure, from the outside they might look similar. Both often wear black, both have alternative fashion, both use dramatic makeup. But according to virtually every history of the two subcultures, goth and emo are not interchangeable. In fact, they come from completely different musical roots.
Yeah, exactly.
Emo has a completely different origin story. It apparently began during the mid-1980s as emotional hardcore.
Like, even I know most of this stuff or so because my goth friends were telling me a lot about this. You know, we had a mixture of like rocker metalheads, goth people, scene people, emo people. We had a mixture together, but we all know the difference from one another, you know. And me, yours truly, I did not fit in any of these categories. I was just a normal person wearing like bright normal colors. But I hanged out with them specifically because they were the coolest and they accepted me for who I am at the end of the day. And they were very open-minded to me, and they shared their culture with me, and I shared my culture with them, you know. Yeah, I pretty much got I was the only outlier in the entire group, but they accepted me nonetheless. They like adopted me as like one of their own at the end of the day. But I never wore any of the dark colors whatsoever. I never wore black. I never wore like any of the like muted colors. I never wore studs. I've never had gauges, piercings. I never had the goth makeup. Never had spiky hair, different colored hair, baggy pants. I've never wear the what was the Vans. The Vans were very popular back then. But I just heard the music though, and that's what I enjoyed the most. So así recuerdo cuando tienes que saber la diferencia porque si le dices emo y gótico de Iván es parte de tu madre. Yo fui emo, mi guare con la ropa negra, pero no sabría decir que se me podría decir emo ahora. Yo no ponía ninguna ropa así. Yo tenía amigos que me aceptaron a mí, pero yo tenía normal colores. Yo ponía bien brillo colores bien normal ropa. Yo no me vestía nada así. Yo tenía
Out of the
amigos
Washington,
así.
D.C. hardcore punk scene before later branching into the emo music that exploded in the early 2000s.
Yo mama's
with
emo.
bands like My Chemical Romance, Jimmy Eat World.
I wasn't a huge fan of My Chemical Romance. My sister is a huge fan of My Chemical Romance, but not me.
Taking Back Sunday and Dashboard Confessional. They're related only in the sense that they're both alternative subcultures. Their histories are different, their music is different, even many of their fashion influences are different. That's why longtime members of both communities often get frustrated when people lump them together. And yet, according to many viewers, Goth House doesn't seem particularly interested in making that distinction. Whenever the topic comes up, the response often boils down to something like, it's basically the same thing. For casual viewers, that might not seem like a big deal. But imagine someone making a channel about hip-hop while insisting rap and country music are basically identical because both use guitars somewhere along the line. Fans of those genres would probably have something to say about it. The same applies here. To people outside the community, it might just look like people wearing black clothes. But to the people who actually participate in the scenes, those labels carry decades of musical history and cultural identity. And that's ultimately what this entire controversy comes back to. The criticism isn't that Goth House wears black. It isn't that they make adult content. It isn't even that they're making thirst traps. It's that many people believe they're using the Goth label as branding while showing very little interest in accurately representing the culture that label comes from.
Is goth and emo the same thing?
The aesthetics are slightly different, but like I think I'm very much both.
Okay. Can you explain to me what is the difference? What does it mean to be one versus the other?
So people are probably gonna butcher me because someone's gonna be like, "You got the definition wrong." Here's
No,
here's how I separate the two.
Yeah.
Emo more aligns with like the emo bands, like someone who likes My Chemical Romance and like was wearing like band t-shirts all the time and like side swooped hair and like that whole vibe. Whereas like goth is a much more intricate style. Like if you Google someone like a proper like goth girl versus an emo girl, the goth girl's wearing like frills, lace, skirts, like thigh-high socks, bows. It's like girlier.
Could you say like goth is like a level up of emo? Like a deeper dive into that?
I feel like it's apples and oranges.
Before we
Yeah,
wrap
there's
this
a different there's a difference between both of them. It's not like a level up or anything like that. No, it's its own subgroups, you know. I never dress as part of any subgroups. I'm a metal and a rock guy, but dress and look about an average as possible. Yeah, it's the same thing for me. I just looked average. I just looked normal. But you would have never found out about me that I listened to like fucking screamo bands, metalheads, emo songs, rock songs. Alternatives. You would never expect that from me. You probably would expect me from like listening to like, I don't know, Beyonce or like something very girly or something, but you would never see me like when I show you, be like, oh yeah, I don't mind listening to like doom music, you know.
We want to make one thing clear. We know everyone has their own interpretation of what it means to be goth, emo, or part of any alternative
Yeah, of course.
community. Subcultures evolve over time, and no single person gets to decide who is or isn't goth. This video is never meant to be a history lesson or an authority on goth culture. In fact, there are creators who've been part of the community for years and are far more qualified to educate people on its history, music, and evolution than we ever could. What we've tried to do in this video is much simpler. We've looked at why Goth House has become so controversial and why so many people, both inside and outside the goth community, believe they're less interested in representing the subculture and more interested in using its aesthetic as a marketing tool. Just look at some of the content. They're wearing bunny ears, making suggestive skits, and calling it goth. Then there are the public videos where random men are humiliated, dressed up as clowns, or encouraged to participate in increasingly bizarre scenarios. Whether you find those videos funny or not, they feel completely disconnected from anything most people would associate with goth culture.
This is just a fetish.
And this brings us to one final point. We know people are into different things. We're not here to shame anyone or tell people what they can and can't enjoy. But there is a broader conversation to be had about the internet. It sometimes feels like every platform is pushing content that's more shocking, more provocative, and more than the last.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me more of e-girl stuff than goth stuff in general, you know? This is just someone who's like using the aestheticness and that's about it. This is just e-girl behavior, you know?
Because that's what drives engagement. More often than not, the algorithm rewards outrage and curiosity over creativity. That doesn't mean everything should be censored, and it doesn't mean people can't create what they want. But there is a valid discussion about whether every trend, every hobby, every subculture, and everyday activity needs to be turned into a fetish or a marketing strategy. When entire communities become known primarily through viral thirst traps instead of their history, creativity, or artistic contributions, it's understandable why the people who built those communities feel frustrated. Whether you agree with Goth House's critics or think they're overreacting,
that's all it really is, to be honest.
At the end of the day, that's the conversation we wanted to explore. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. We genuinely love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Goth House is simply creating content for entertainment, or do you think they're misrepresenting an entire subculture for clicks and subscriptions?
It's not even for entertainment. It's just mostly just kind of like saying, oh, check out this big titty goth girl or so, you know, and then also on top of that, take a look at my OnlyFans, you know. So that's about it. Ten cuidado, ya para de postar. No, hombre, tú, hombre. Espérate, ya ahorita. That's the only problem. That is the only problem to begin with, anyways, is because they're just only there for the OnlyFans, and that's why they're just there to, like, you know, just for the aestheticness for OnlyFans, and that's it, you know. So yeah, I just personally don't approve of this. Personally, I find this like really, really, really weird when it comes to this aestheticness overall. At least what they're doing, anyways. So it's kind of like, bruh. We all know exactly what they're doing. Everybody should know exactly what they're doing, to be honest. It's pretty obvious what they're doing to begin with, so, but yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. Great video, to be frankly honest. I'm not surprised. That's a very good information. Granted, I haven't been into the whole goth scene in general, you know? If only King Cobra JFC was still alive. He set the record straight. It seems really inauthentic for and just a male intention. We don't believe they were really goth. Yeah, I don't think they're actual real goth people. They're just using the aestheticness to, you know, sex sells at the end of the day, and that's just kind of like basically it. So, but unfortunately, we live in that specific world or so where like this is becoming a weird normal thing where, especially in California, where they're putting fucking girls and their feet in juices and they're drinking it out in the public. That's just fucking wild, dude. I don't need to see that. I really don't need to see that when I'm walking around or so, or walking by or something, and I see and I see this fucking girl's random feet in the fucking fruit juice, and then pouring it on some guy's fucking mouth. I don't need to see that. You want that shit? Do it behind closed doors. I don't need that shit. I don't need to see that shit out in public, dude. That's just fucking nasty, dude. Like, straight up, dude. You guys are fucking weird, bro. I ain't gonna lie. California people are so fucking weird doing this shit like it's the normal shit. I'm like, only in fucking California you see the most weirdest fucking out-of-pocket shit ever, to be honest. Like, I'm not gonna lie, to be honest. Like, they think like we're coming into a day and age where like shit getting so like to the point of desensitization that like they're trying to make it as the norm or so, and I'm like, no, I don't need to see that. But whatever. I digress. Anyways, that's the end of the video, and honestly, very, very, very weird. And yeah, peace.